you to Tonic for sponsoring this video. They have a product that I'm going to be sharing with you guys later on. Hey guys, what's up? It's Wengie and sleepy hugs. So today I wanted to share with you 10 life hacks to help you fall asleep instantly. Ready guys? Let's go. The first hack to help you sleep is to try a magical sleeping potion. Just kidding, it's actually a drink mixture I learned from Tim Ferriss. The sleep tonic is super easy to make. Just add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and 2 teaspoons of honey to a glass. It's best if you use raw honey for this, by the way, then just pour in some hot water and give it a mix. The ingredients not only helps your body to regulate your sugar levels during sleep, they also promote the release of melatonin, which is the main sleeping hormone. Just a word of warning guys, this apple cider mixture had quite a pungent smell when I opened it. It honestly caught me off guard, and I thought it'd be so funny if I pranked my cats with it because it smelled so strong, but they were actually surprisingly fine with it. Like I literally thought they would gag, but they were just like, what is this? Give me more. Makes sense since they are the masters of sleeping. Anyways, just have this about 15 minutes before you go to sleep and you should fall into a nice deep slumber. The next hack is to create a sleeping oasis for your bedroom. Basically, this means turning your bedroom into a palace for sleeping, which is something I can totally get behind. Basically, this means things like getting blackout curtains and some super comfy, fluffy pillows and blankets. I personally like to have an essential oil diffuser with a few drops of lavender inside, and I just find this helps me de-stress and helps me fall asleep. Also, make sure your room is nice and cool because the body actually needs to cool down to fall asleep. If you watched my previous video here, you know that the perfect temperature to sleep is 18 degrees Celsius. Finally, making sure that your oasis is clean and clutter-free is essential. I know I get super stressed when I see clutter, so even though I'm pretty messy, I do try to at least keep my bedroom tidy. Thanks to Tonic for sponsoring this portion of the video. To be honest, nowadays I'm so protective of my sleep that I've developed a full-on nighttime routine that helps me fall asleep instantly. I usually turn on some calming spa music in the evening to set the mood about an hour before I go to bed. After a hot bath or shower, I'll do my usual skincare routine. Something that I've been paying attention to a lot recently is my moisturizer, and Tonic have developed a great product called Tonic ID, which essentially is a custom moisturizer specifically tailored to your own skin. After asking me about my skin type and the things I wanted to change about my skin, they developed this particular moisturizer for me. It's a combination of a lightweight hydrating jelly for my combination dry skin type and a cartridge that helps me with my fatigued skin. Because I travel a lot guys, and I'm in air conditioning and switch time zones all the time, meaning I don't always get the best sleep. The best thing about this moisturizer is that it's $39 for the combination, so check out the link below to get your own custom hydrator. Thanks again to Tonic for sponsoring this portion of the video. After my skincare is done, I crawl into bed and read for about 15 minutes and then go to sleep. I've been doing this routine for about a year now, and my sleep has been so much better because of it. We may be forced to cause a scene, make some trouble, baby. So the next hack to help you fall asleep might surprise you. It's actually to have a consistent wake-up schedule. And yes, this means setting your alarm to a reasonable time every day and sticking to it long term. P.S. 12 o'clock midday is not a reasonable waking time. I'm one of those people who love to hit the snooze button. But you really gotta use your willpower to fight that urge for this hack to work. This is definitely hardest for the first few days. So I usually like to keep a glass of water next to my bed because I find this just helps me wake up a little easier and makes me feel less groggy. The longer you stick to this schedule, the easier it gets, so don't give up. Having a stable routine will not only help you sleep at night, but eventually you might even not need an alarm to wake up in the morning. Studies have shown over and over that humans tend to function the best when they have a regular routine. And this is also the case for most animals, like cats. If you have trouble falling asleep, there might be something wrong with your internal body clock. And this could be fixed by just doing one simple thing after you wake up. Just open your curtains. Yep, it is that easy. By immediately opening the curtains when you wake up and getting at least 5 minutes of direct sunlight, you actually help your body kickstart its own internal body clock. It does this by releasing a hormone called cortisol. Most people often get sunlight during the day as they work or exercise, but if you're a night owl who wakes up when it's dark, leaves the curtains closed, and works in a dark office without any natural light, then your body clock is probably out of whack. By doing this, your body won't produce cortisol during the day and therefore won't produce melatonin at night, and the cycle continues. Thinking that this sounds like me 2 years ago. I mean, I still have night owl tendencies, and sometimes because of my work and travel, I end up being awake at pretty odd hours. But I do make it a point to try and get a good dose of sunlight in the morning, and that's been super helpful for me. You guys know I love coffee. And if you follow me on Instagram, which you should, you're gonna see that 70% of my posts are pretty much about coffee. Anyways, this hack thankfully isn't to cut out coffee. There's actually nothing wrong with having a coffee during the day, but having too much is definitely gonna cause you problems falling asleep. In fact, you should avoid any caffeine 6 hours before your bedtime. You'd be surprised that even foods like chocolate, ice cream, and certain teas contain caffeine in them. And even decaffeinated coffee contains caffeine, which doesn't make sense to me, and I definitely found that out the hard way. Yeah, so whenever I've had caffeine close to my bedtime, it hasn't ended well for me. And apparently, even if you're someone that can sleep after drinking coffee, the quality of your sleep deteriorates, so you may find yourself waking up feeling super groggy. For me, in the past year or so, reading a book in bed before I sleep has helped me fall asleep so much faster. Reading just seems to have a different effect on me compared to like watching videos or TV shows. It makes my eyes actively tired, and I'm not sure what it is, but it definitely helps me fall asleep. Whereas when I'm watching something exciting on YouTube, my heart rate increases and I feel like I want to watch the next video, and I just don't get sleepy. It's honestly best not to go on your phone at all in bed, but if say you use a Kindle or phone to read, you should definitely turn on night mode, which causes your phone screen to emit an orange light. The blue light from your phone and laptop screens actually simulates daylight and makes your body produce cortisol because it thinks it's daytime. Definitely not useful when you're trying to fall asleep. A sure way to get poor quality sleep is getting up too often in the middle of the night, usually to go to the bathroom. That's why it's often good to limit your water intake just before you're about to sleep so your bladder doesn't get too full overnight. I'm not saying to dehydrate yourself though. To make up for this, you should make sure you're keeping well hydrated during the day. You should try and drink at least 2 liters of water every day to stay well hydrated. By the way, another great thing about not having to get up at night is no more stubbed toes while fumbling around in the dark. So all your big toes can thank me later. To fall asleep faster, you should try to remove all sources of light in your bedroom when you sleep. You might think that a little blinking light on your computer monitor might not matter, or that tiny light coming from your power adapter or your alarm clock. But studies have shown that even the smallest amount of light can interrupt a good night's sleep. Blackout curtains help, but may not block all ambient light, especially if you live in a big city. If you can't remove all sources of light, definitely consider getting a good quality eye mask. I've actually been using an eye mask for the last year or so, and it's been a game changer for my sleep quality. Ever try to fall asleep but find yourself stressing out about random stuff like exams, relationships, or basically anything, like that conversation you had today and you think you said something wrong but you probably didn't? Yeah, I do that all the time. And the thing is, you probably aren't in the best headspace to deal with these issues when you're trying to sleep. So I like to keep a notebook next to my bedside table as a way to transfer my thoughts from my head to paper. This way I can tell myself not to worry about these problems then and there, and also serves as a reminder for me to deal with these issues later. Also, if you have any ideas you don't want to forget, you can write them down. Such a simple hack, but so useful, and who knows, you probably got your best idea for your next creative venture just before you slept. Alright guys, let me know what your favorite life hack is down below, and if you found any of these helpful. I'm gonna go sleep now. Bye! Love you. Mwah.